You know that friend who giggles at funerals? The one who can't keep a straight face when someone's crying? Psychology says they're not heartless. They're trapped in a defense loop most people never escape. And I'll show you exactly why in the next 20 seconds. This reflex doesn't just make you look insensitive. It rewires how you process emotion, killing your ability to connect when it matters most. Nervous system hijack. When tension spikes, your brain hits panic mode. Laughter becomes an emergency exit, a way to discharge the electrical storm happening in your amygdala. Picture this. Your boss is getting fired in front of you. Everyone's silent, and you feel a smile creeping in. Your nervous system is literally shorting out, dumping cortisol, flooding your body with contradictory signals. You train your brain that discomfort equals comedy. Real empathy gets buried under noise. Name the tension out loud before your body hijacks you. Say, "This is heavy," or "I'm feeling uncomfortable." But here's what most people miss about this reflex. Social pressure valve. Humans are wired to regulate group emotion. When things get too intense, someone has to break the tension, and your brain volunteers you without asking. Imagine, your friend just told you their parent died. You feel your mouth twitching. A nervous laugh escapes. You're not laughing at death. You're trying to normalize the emotional temperature in the room because your brain thinks the group is overheating. You become the person who can't be trusted with serious news. People stop confiding in you. Physically ground yourself. Press your feet into the floor. It interrupts the discharge reflex. There's another layer to this. Most psychologists won't tell you. Emotional illiteracy. If you never learn to name what you're feeling, laughter becomes a catch-all response. It's not that you're cold. You literally don't have the vocabulary to process what's happening. Picture, someone shares their deepest fear. You laugh and say, "That's crazy." Not because you think it's funny, because you have no other tool in the box. Your brain is scrolling through emotional responses and finding nothing but a blank page where compassion and validation should be. Your relationships plateau. You can do shallow, but depth terrifies you. Start labeling emotions in real time, even silently. They're scared. "I'm uncomfortable. This is grief." And it gets worse. The superiority mask. Sometimes inappropriate laughter is your ego protecting itself. If you acknowledge the seriousness, you'd have to feel vulnerable too, and that's unacceptable. Real scenario. Your partner is crying about work stress. You chuckle and say, "It's not that deep." You're not dismissing them. You're dismissing the idea that life can hurt this much. Because if it can hurt them, it can hurt you. You build walls disguised as humor. Nobody gets close. What am I afraid would happen if I sat in this discomfort? But there's a hidden benefit to this pattern that keeps it alive. Dopamine bargain. Laughter releases dopamine. Your brain learns that tension plus laughter equals relief, so it starts craving that hit. You're in a meeting. Someone's getting reprimanded. You feel the giggle building because your brain remembers. This combo feels good. You've accidentally conditioned yourself to find reward in other people's pain. Not because you're sadistic, but because your neurochemistry is running the show. You start seeking out uncomfortable situations just to feel the release. It becomes an addiction. Find a different dopamine source for stress. Music, movement, anything that doesn't require someone else's suffering. Still think it's just a harmless quirk? Childhood blueprint studies show this reflex often starts young. If your household was volatile, laughter became armor, a way to signal, "I'm not a threat, don't hurt me." Flashback, you're 8. Parents are screaming. You make a joke. The room softens. Your young brain files that away. Comedy equals safety. 20 years later, you're still using the same survival strategy in situations that don't require it. You're stuck in a child's coping mechanism, performing for safety you already have. Recognize when you're laughing at the moment versus laughing through your fear. And here's where it gets disturbing. Empathy erosion. The more you laugh through serious moments, the less access you have to genuine empathy. Your mirror neurons, the brain cells that let you feel what others feel, start to atrophy. Real example, you're at the hospital. Family member gets bad news. You crack a joke about the cafeteria food. You're not trying to be cruel. You've just lost the muscle that lets you sit in shared pain without flinching. People describe you as nice but shallow. You can't figure out why. Practice sitting in silence for 10 seconds before responding to heavy news. Let your nervous system catch up. Most people never connect these dots. The shame spiral afterward. You always feel terrible. You replay it in your head. Why did I laugh? And the shame makes you more anxious next time. You're at a memorial service. You laugh during the eulogy. Now you're catastrophizing. "I'm a monster. What's wrong with me?" The shame doesn't correct the behavior. It makes you more nervous. And more nervous means more likely to laugh next time. You're trapped in a feedback loop that makes the problem worse. Replace shame with curiosity. "My body did a thing. Let me understand why." But the real kicker is this: identity fusion. Eventually, you make it part of your personality personality. I'm just someone who laughs at everything. That's just how I am. And now you're not fixing it. You're protecting it. Someone calls you out. Instead of reflecting, you double down. I have a dark sense of humor. Not everyone gets it. You've upgraded a coping mechanism to a core identity trait. Growth becomes impossible. You can't change what you refuse to see as a problem. Separate behavior from identity. You're not a person who laughs at pain. You're a person who learned a response you can unlearn. Here's the pattern nobody talks about, the witness effect. When you laugh, you give others permission to laugh. You're not just managing your own discomfort, you're infecting the room. Conference room, co-worker shares a struggle, you chuckle. Now 3 other people are smiling too. You've just normalized emotional avoidance for the entire group. One reflex, collective damage. You become the reason cultures stay shallow, workplaces stay cold, friendships stay surface level. Break the pattern by being the first person to respond with seriousness. Set a different tone, and this is what ties it all together. Control illusion. At its core, inappropriate laughter is about control. If you can make it funny, you can make it manageable. Your friend is having a breakdown. You joke, not because it's funny, because if it's funny, you don't have to acknowledge that life is chaos and you're powerless too. Laughter becomes a way to impose order on disorder, even when the moment requires you to surrender. You miss the profound moments, the ones that actually change you. Let one serious moment land without deflecting, just once. See what happens. If you laugh at funerals, bad news, or vulnerable moments, you're not broken. You're running outdated software. Your nervous system is trying to protect you from something that can't hurt you anymore. But every time you laugh instead of feel, you lose a piece of your emotional range. You become less human, less trustworthy, less capable of the connections you claim you want. The truth, discomfort isn't dangerous. Avoiding it is. So here's your homework. Next time you feel that laugh coming during a serious moment, pause. Breathe through your nose for 4 seconds and do nothing. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to perform. Just be a person in a room with other people who are feeling something real. If this hit different, let me know in the comments. And if you're ready to understand the other ways your brain is sabotaging you without your permission, there's a whole playlist on that. See you in the next one.